25th. Tonight from London, a ton of fun with Dave, Meg Ryan, Annie Lennox, and even Dave's mom. Coming up after your local news, which is next.
Next on Eyewitness News, the National Hurricane Center says that Hurricane Bonnie is on track to have a close encounter with the Outer Banks by lunchtime tomorrow. Details coming up.
Also, a water warning for residents of Arlington County. And anchor away, the first family enjoying a fine day on the water with Walter Cronkite.
Live from WUSA Broadcast House, Channel 9 Eyewitness News Tonight begins now.
Well, here it comes, and there they go. More than 500,000 people out of their homes because of Hurricane Bonnie. And as the sun goes down, Bonnie cranks up. Bonnie means business. Good evening. I'm Gordon Peterson. The storm is moving quickly tonight, and the southeast coastline is awaiting her unwelcome visit. We have live team coverage. Dave Statter is in Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina, where there is a mandatory evacuation order. Mark Lodato spending the evening in Ocean City. But first, man who's been watching Bonnie all along, Doug Hill. Where is the storm now?
Well, Gordon, at this very moment, the center of the storm is located about 200 miles south of Cape Lookout, North Carolina. Let's go right to our weather computer. These are the very latest numbers just into the computer system here in the Weather Center from Miami. Hurricane Bonnie at 31.6 degrees north latitude, 76.8 degrees west longitude. That's a little over 200 miles south of Cape Lookout. It's slowed a bit, now north-northwesterly movement at 14. The most important number in that set, sustained winds still at 115 miles per hour. Now, take a look during the evening hours. You can see the outer band starting to make its move through the Outer Banks, and now the heaviest rain squalls are just offshore. In fact, we can go to local radar there and show the heaviest rain about 25 to 30 miles east of Kill Devil Hills. That's where Dave Statter and Steve Rudin have been reporting from, and Morehead City to the south. Now, it's looking more and more like this thing is probably going to make landfall or close to landfall along the southern-facing beaches tomorrow morning. These are the hurricane warning flags that are flying. The hurricane warnings in effect from Murrells Inlet south of Myrtle Beach to Chincoteague, Virginia. Here's the possible track of the hurricane, moving at midday tomorrow towards the lower Outer Banks, somewhere in the vicinity between Morehead City and Wilmington, and then quickly accelerating northeast by Thursday morning off the coast. As a result, we're expecting high winds across the area of lower southern Maryland and Delmarva and the northern neck tomorrow, maybe some thunderstorms for the Washington area. One of the things happening on the beaches are high winds and rip tides. Rip tides, you've heard, are very dangerous. In fact, Bonnie's causing many of them tonight along the eastern seaboard. Listen to just one swimmer who had a close encounter.
I stumbled in a wave and I tried to catch myself and dislocated my shoulder. And it's just so painful. Can't move.
It's deceiving because the rip current is under the water where you can't see it. And the storm comes in.
An emergency management specialist says Bonnie is churning up the ocean bottom so badly that rip tides are forming in places that his lifeguards don't even suspect. We'll have more for you coming up. Gordon, back to you now.
All right, Doug, we'll check back with you in a few minutes for a status report. Now let's go to Dave Statter, live in Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina. Dave, what's happening down there?
Gordon, it sure doesn't look like an August night here on the Outer Banks. Most everyone has left. Vacationers disappointed. The people left behind are the locals who say they're going to ride this storm out. Of course, the news media and some hotel workers and the police and firefighters. Most everyone else has listened to the warnings. A final warning for those left behind.
Mandatory evacuation has been ordered by Dare County Emergency Management. We're advising everyone to leave the Outer Banks.
I think everybody should leave. It's a dangerous situation.
But some of the locals are still tying down loose ends. One of those staying put has a familiar name.
What's your name? Bonnie.
Are you leaving?
No.
There are tens of thousands who didn't need a personal invitation to move on.
There's 2 lanes going down to 1 lane.
This is real frustration. Fleeing the comfort of your vacation on a gorgeous day, and you don't get very far.
I don't know what they're doing there this morning. Midway was sitting up.
This is the escape route through Manio. All along the way, the former vacationers, now evacuees, hear the updates on their car radios.
Hurricane force winds are expected around sunrise moving over the coast.
It's taken us about 3.5 hours to get from Avon.
Avon to Manio?
Yeah.
Wow.
With twin 2-year-olds in the back seat. We need a break.
The Wright family of Falls Church hoping to find food at this McDonald's.
We were in line for about 15 minutes and the line closed.
When was the last time the twins ate?
They've had rice cakes and donuts and raisins in the car, but they really like McDonald's Happy Meal.
McDonald's closed so employees can take care of their own families.
I'm going home and get my house secured and pick my youngins up and leave them.
By sunset, a lot of vacationers and the traffic jams were gone. A very gentle breeze here on the Outer Banks right now. It's supposed to be very different tomorrow. They have been through many evacuations, too, in 1996, but they have not received the devastating damage from any storms in the 90s, and they're hoping that this trend continues here for Bonnie. Back to you, Gordon.
All right, Dave, enjoy your privacy. It's going to get a little windy down there pretty soon, I guess. What time are they expecting the big winds?
Sometime after sunrise tomorrow and probably noon in the afternoon, we should be in the middle of it.
All right, Dave, thanks. We'll check back with you a bit later in this broadcast. Our team coverage continues now in Maryland. Let's join Mark Lodato. He's live on the Eastern Shore. Mark.
Gordon, encouraging news from this front. Folks here still bracing for Bonnie and what are expected to be tropical storm force winds, but most folks actually consider themselves fortunate.
As the sun set over Ocean City, tourists like the Horners could look out over the Atlantic with confidence that Hurricane Bonnie won't bring their vacation to an abrupt end.
Not as bad. Maybe we can just get some shopping in and, you know, and then save the beach for the next day.
Word spread quickly along the boardwalk. Forecasters predict Bonnie will ultimately head back out to sea, sparing Ocean City of any hurricane-force winds.
We've got well over 200,000 people in town, and they save all year to come here for a week or for a weekend, so this is good news. We take public safety as our main priority here. When we hear the storm's going to pass 150 miles offshore, that makes us feel very good.
Strong gusts of wind announced the storm's pending arrival and kept the less experienced swimmers out of the ocean. But the big waves managed to attract plenty of jet skiers and surfers.
The wind was blowing west. I looked at the flags, and my friend had called me up, and he was like, man, the waves are really good.
Even though Maryland will likely escape the worst Bonnie has to offer, those who live in vacation here must still be prepared to endure gusts of 40 to 50 miles an hour and driving rain.
As long as we don't get the big, you know, the big brunt of the storm, I think we'd be pretty good.
Yeah. Not worth canceling a vacation and headed home early.
No, not right now. Right now, we're scheduled to be here for the next 3 days, so we'll see what happens.
Now, we also talked to about half-dozen area hotels along the beach and the boardwalk area. No one reporting major cancellations. In fact, 5 out of the 6 were booked solid for tonight. So, Gordon, that's some good news for the tourism folks. Of course, the worst is expected to hit later in the day tomorrow. Actually, maybe tomorrow night we might see those 40 to 50 mile an hour winds. So folks want everyone on Ocean City to keep an eye on the news reports just to make sure they'll stay out of harm's way.
Good advice. Thank you, Mark Lodato. Cambridge, Maryland. Now, Terry Okita is going to join us from the place where they're busy planning.
We are at the command center of FEMA, where they continue to monitor Bonnie, and they continue to map out a response plan should Bonnie hit land. They are in constant contact with the National Hurricane Center down in Miami and are working to be proactive rather than reactive in getting people and equipment in place ahead of time. A lot of the employees here at FEMA will be working 12-hour shifts trying to get cots and generators and ice down to the Carolinas. And employees at FEMA, though, are not the only ones working overtime tonight. As you'll see, 68 members and 4 canines from the Montgomery County Urban Search and Rescue Team are on alert this evening, ready to deploy at a moment's notice. You see them packaging up equipment, loading things, and readying the tractor-trailers tonight in Rockville. If called upon, they'll take 50,000 pounds of equipment with them. And some told me tonight that they would like to have left for North Carolina tonight to get in place, but they were told to sit tight in this holding pattern. But if they are called on, rescuers say this would have no adverse effect on anything that should happen here. They say that they have half the team staying back to respond to any needs locally. And we should also tell you as we come back live that the Virginia Power and Pepco companies are gearing up for Hurricane Bonnie. You know, hurricanes can wreak a lot of havoc on utilities, transmission and distribution systems. So here is what Virginia Power is doing to gear up tonight. Storm materials at storage facilities have been checked and readied. Special equipment such as generators, trouble lights, and rain gear has been distributed. Storm duties have been assigned to specific personnel. And Virginia's Power's call center is on alert to handle the potentially high volume of emergencies and medical calls should those come in. Pepco also has a mutual assistance agreement with Duke Power down in North Carolina, and then if anything should happen in North Carolina, then they will send some wires and connectors and poles and possibly crews down there too if needed. That's if it's not needed up here where they are priority 1. Back to you, Gordon, at Broadcast House.
All right, Terry, thank you very much. Terry Okita live at FEMA headquarters. Now, Once again, tonight's big story, of course, is Hurricane Bonnie. Bonnie Center could hit North Carolina's Outer Banks around midday tomorrow, but tropical storm force winds could arrive as early as midnight, about 15 minutes down there, and hurricane force wind could arrive at around dawn. More than 500,000 people obeyed the order to leave the Carolina coast as Bonnie approaches. Stay with us now for continuing coverage as we watch and wait for Hurricane Bonnie. Get you caught up on the rest of the day's news in a few minutes. The White House is denouncing a deadly bombing on a Planet Hollywood restaurant in South Africa. That story at 11:14. 11:32, the Clintons and the Cronkites. Beautiful day for sailing off Martha's Vineyard.
I'm Ken Brew. We're watching McGuire tonight. We're tracking Sosa. We've got skins, players' cuts from Ashburn, and Butterbean in the ring. See you with sports in a couple of minutes.
There are occasions when time flies even faster than usual, like during the Dodge Summer Clearance, where you have a limited time to lease a Dodge Dakota for just $199 a month. Or you can buy this Dakota for just over $16,300. But whether you buy or lease, you can still get a no-charge 175 horsepower Magnum V6 plus an automatic transmission. So hurry in while time is still on your side. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
The NFL returns to Channel 9 with your game day guide to the Redskins live.
Huddle up for football.
Channel 9 Eyewitness Sports is your eye on the field, counting down to kickoff.
Huddle up for the game plan.
Plus, Charles Mann takes you inside the league and inside the life of Redskins running back Brian Mitchell. Redskins Huddle, live at 11:30 a.m., followed by the NFL on CBS, starting September 6th.
Huddle up for action.
Why me? Yuck. Please, oh, please, oh, please, oh, please. Yay! Talk about tacos? Thank you, Mom.
Lunchables, tacos, and nachos. The fun lunch kids wish for.
Nachos? I'm on a roll. Yes. Oh.
Lunchables. Make fun of lunch.
This is the event. These are the savings. Now is the time for Ford's factory-authorized clearance at your local Ford dealer. Get 0-9 financing or up to $1,500 cash back on Windstar, Contour, Escort, Ranger, and Taurus. And just announced through Labor Day, you can even get 0-9 financing on Explorer and F-Series. Plus, factory-to-dealer incentives can save you even more. This is the event. These are the savings. Now through Labor Day.
I'm Peggy Fox. Here comes Hurricane Bonnie. Join us tomorrow. We'll have coverage up and down the East Coast, and we'll watch Bonnie as she gets close to land. See you at 6 a.m.
In world news, possible retaliation for the American attacks in the Sudan and Afghanistan. A bomb killed one person and wounded 24 others inside a crowded Cape Town, South Africa Planet Hollywood restaurant. A caller to a South African radio station claimed responsibility for the bombing on behalf of a group called Muslims Against Global Oppression. The head of the Arab League says it appears Libya will say yes to a plan to try the suspected Pan Am 103 bombers in the Netherlands. He says the U.S.-British proposal is consistent with Arab League suggestions that Libya has already accepted. He's one of the world's most notorious terrorists, Abu Nidal, the leader of an organization blamed for killing or injuring more than 900 people in 20 countries since 1973. Tonight, he is reportedly in custody in Egypt, arrested while crossing the border between Libya and Egypt. Former Supreme Court Justice Lewis Powell, dead tonight at the age of 90, died of pneumonia at his Richmond, Virginia home. Chief Justice Rehnquist says Powell was a fair man who would rely on his own seasoned judgment when it came to making a decision. Powell provided the pivotal vote in 1986 when the court ruled there is no constitutional right to private consensual homosexual acts. Former Colorado Senator Floyd Haskell is dead tonight at the age of 82. Haskell died today of pneumonia while on vacation in Maine with his wife, National Public Radio correspondent Nita Totenberg, one of our Inside Washington regulars. Haskell was elected to the Senate in 1972 as an ardent opponent of the Vietnam War. He was a lovely man. Charles Diggs, the former Michigan congressman who helped bring limited home rule to the district, is dead of a stroke. Diggs, who was elected to the House in 1954, had been a founder of the Congressional Black Caucus. He was forced to resign in 1980 for receiving payroll kickbacks. Charles Diggs, dead at the age of 75. Since we've seen you at 6, a warning for people who live in Arlington County. County officials ask you not to use water in Bluemont Park or 4 Mile Run after high levels of fecal coliform were found in a nearby storm sewer. An environmental planner noticed the sewer near 4 Mile Run had a strange color and odor. Tests revealed the bacteria which can cause illness. So far, no reports of anyone getting sick from the water, however. Let's go back to Dave Statter now, live in Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina. Dave?
Gordon, a little breeze has kicked up since we talked. Nothing like we're going to see tomorrow. Looking over the list of some of the storms that have come through here. Gloria in 85. We rode that one out on the Outer Banks when the eye went right over us. Bob in 91. Gordon in 94. Of course, Fran, which hit the area near Wilmington a little bit harder than it hit here. And that's the thing we were talking about. Here, particularly here in the central portion of the Outer Banks of North Carolina, they haven't had the devastating damage during the 90s that they've had in other areas of the state. They're hoping that this pattern continues. To the south of us in Hatteras, where it's more vulnerable, they've had more damage through some of the storms. And to the north of us, up toward Duck and beyond, a lot of homes have gone in, and that happens just during the nor'easters during the early spring and late winter. Some of the homes go in because of the narrow beach there. That's expected here, and maybe a little bit worse. They don't know yet. That's what people are waiting to see here, Gordon.
Dave, what happens if these people refuse to leave?
They find out where they're living, where they're staying. They go up to them, they say, we need your name, address, phone number, and they say, why? Well, we also need to know your next of kin so we can tell them what happened to you. That kind of scares some people out of here, but they get to stay if they want to stay.
Okay,
Dave,
Dave
as long as they have
Statter.
property here.
Thanks a lot. We'll check in with you later in the broadcast.
And it's looking like probably 11 a.m. till 1 p.m. tomorrow when the worst winds will be moving up the Outer Banks down there. So we'll see it. People are busy today, not only evacuating people from the Outer Banks, but ships, too. Did you know that? Down in Norfolk, the Navy base?
Yeah, they go way out.
Yeah, they send them out.
What did you say? You're looking at 30-foot waves maybe out there?
Yeah, well, that's being reported right now. Buoy that is 250 miles east of Charleston, South Carolina, reported waves tonight, 31 feet waves. So these ships, even the huge ones, don't want to be in that kind of weather. So, yeah, they sent their ships out to sea, and they'll move to the north and northeast well away from any influence of Bonnie. So it'll be a little rocky, but these seasoned sailors know how to deal with it. They're much better off in the open seas than they are in port, where they'd have to deal with the abnormally high tides. Let's get busy. A lot of stuff, new information to share with you, tell you what to expect. Go through our numbers first here, and we'll head outside. 97, we tied the record high today. There you see the morning low. Check out numbers at this hour. It is still very, very warm in the 80s. That's why I'm in the process of losing the sports coat. As we head out here, temperature is still 84 degrees this hour here at Broadcast House. When you factor in the humidity, it feels like it's 89 degrees still out here at night. Southerly winds at 14, 65% humidity. Other temperatures in the area at this hour range mostly in the 70s and 80s, cooler to the north a bit where they've had some rain showers. Those rain showers have gotten kind of close to parts of our area, and at this hour, just east of Hagerstown, there's a shower and a thunder shower. So north and west of town, a slight chance of a little bit of light rain overnight. Well, here's the very latest. The leading edge of Bonnie now getting very, very close to the Outer Banks. This area of showers will move in tomorrow. Under some circumstances, you might say, look, this area is moving this way, this area is moving this way. Certainly, we're going to get rain from the systems. Not necessarily so. We see a chance of some scattered showers from the cold front here tomorrow afternoon, but it's going to depend how Bonnie moves. And right now, it looks like Bonnie is going to make a move up and then out to sea. That's good news indeed. But at the moment, the heavy rains are just offshore from the Carolinas. Dave Statter, if he stays out on location for another hour, I think he'll see some rain in Kill Devil Hills by then. And by the morning, there'll be a lot of heavy rain there. The hurricane warnings fly from just south of Myrtle Beach all the way through the Myrtle Beach area. Why, by the way, they've ordered evacuations east of Highway 17 and the 17 bypass in Myrtle Beach all the way up to Chincoteague. So those are the hurricane warnings. Now, in that area, it looks as though the best consensus for the track of this hurricane is going to be to come onshore near the Outer Banks, somewhere between Morehead City and Cape Hatteras in the morning to lunchtime, and then quickly accelerate to the northeast. Now, this is going to leave our area with partly cloudy skies, some afternoon showers and thunder showers tomorrow from the cold front, a little bit of sunshine through the Shenandoah Valley, and a high wind watch for the Delmarva and for the northern neck. The hurricane warning flags are flying from Smith Island over to Chincoteague, a watch up to Cape Henlopen. It looks like it'll be an event for the lower bay and the eastern shore, but even places like Ocean City could find themselves with 40 to 50 mile per hour wind gusts and some rain bands by tomorrow evening. Here in the D.C. metro area, we don't expect much effect at any, although it's going to be a close call depending on Bonnie's final track. So the showers north and west a bit overnight, otherwise hazy and humid in the morning when you wake up. Partly sunny, 70s to 80s. For the afternoon tomorrow, showers and thunderstorms by the evening, 80s for temperatures. Our 7-day outlook shows clearing skies quickly again on Thursday and Friday. More showers by Saturday. There'll be another major update from the Hurricane Center at 5 a.m. and Topper Shot will have that for you here along with their team coverage. Gordon, back to you.
Don't go away. We're going to come back to you before we leave.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Thanks, Doug. Home run chase is on deck tonight. Baseball's dynamic duo continue their pursuit of Roger Maris' record. Sports is next.
Met with reporters about 2 hours before the game.
According to Smart Money magazine, the BMW 528i has the lowest ownership cost rate in the entire category, which is good to know, considering it also has the highest ownership fun rate in the entire category. Lease a 528i for $458 a month for 36 months at your Washington area BMW Center. $3,458 due at signing.
This month, another 18 million people will go online.
E-mail already outnumbers regular mail.
By nearly 10 to 1. By the end of the year, the internet will carry more information than all the telephones in America. Soon.
All our ideas will be free of borders. Are you ready?
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Virtually all internet traffic travels across the systems of one company, Cisco Systems, empowering the internet generation.
Are you ready?
This is Imagine TV. Everything ready for the big sale? Grills? Buy the tents. Wetsuits? With the goggles. Beach balls. Right under the darts.
It's Mercury's end of summer sales drive. Get Mountaineer with 0.9% APR or Villager with low 0.9% APR or $2,000 cash back. Buy or lease and we'll pay your first month's payment on both.
Just might work. Till next time, imagine yourself in a Mercury.
You're welcome to come to Pennsylvania Dutch Country for our Turkey Hill ice cream and frozen yogurt. But then you'd have to deal with all the traffic jams and our pushy street vendors. Dozens of creamy, all-natural flavors might make it easier to contend with the nosy neighbors and Sunday drivers. Still, to save you all this trouble, how about we keep sending batches to your hometown? Turkey Hill, imported from Lancaster County.
Backed by popular demand, the Nissan early model year-end clearance has been extended. Right now, with every new 98 Nissan we make, get an amazing $2,000 customer cash or 0% APR financing. Like a new Frontier, J.D. Power and Associates ranked best compact pickup in initial quality. Or a dependable new Sentra and get $2,000 customer cash or 0% APR. Don't let this opportunity pass you by. Visit a Nissan retailer today. This $2,000 or 0% APR offer absolutely ends August 31st.
What's the number?
Someday the dog walks you, some days you walk the dog. It's 53 right now. Could have been 54. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. The ball wasn't going anywhere tonight, Gordon. 4 at-bats for McGuire, a walk, an error, a ground out. The number's still at 53. The most watched man this side of Ken Starr has to be Mark McGuire. Could sitting out those 2 games earlier this week hurt him in catching Maris. The rest didn't help tonight. An error at this at-bat. You know, McGuire has more home runs than any player in the majors. He's also drawn more walks than anybody in the majors. Here's a walk here. Here's an RBI here. But no home run tonight. In a 1-run loss to the Marlins, the final, as you see, is 4-3. Sammy Sosa playing through the rain tonight. He and the Cubs in Cincinnati got nothing for you in the home run department of life here either. But Sosa knocks this into the gap. In between the drops right now, the Cubs are trailing the Reds. It's 8-7 as they play on in the 6th. Now the Orioles. The math is not working. 31 games to go. They're 9 games behind because the Red Sox won tonight. And the O's got their wallets lifted in Chicago. They had their best guy on the mound tonight, too. But you got to score to win. Scoreless in the 2nd. Couple of guys on. Here's Maglio Ordonez playing chicken with the line and winning. 2 runs come home. You've seen the pitches into the 7th, but they left them in too long. The O's got burned. 5th inning now, still 2 zips. Here's BJ, who cuts it to 1. But here's the trouble. After they cut it to 2-1, we go to the 7th. It's now 3-1. Ray Miller out to see Messina. Messina on fumes at this point. Miller leaves him in, and Frank Thomas takes him for a ride. Messina should have come out, but for whom? Alan Mills? Look what he does when he faces the next guy. Albert Bell deep to left field, and you can kiss it goodbye. The Sox have now hit 16 homers in 6 games against the O's this year. 6-4 final tonight. Chicago with the win. Bada bean, bada boom. The king of the 4-rounders in the ring tonight.
And so are the skins. It was cut down day. The unkindest cuts of all come after a couple of commercials.
Tarantulas are poisonous. Napoleon was short. You can't get a Mercedes for anywhere near $40,000.
Fact is, tarantulas are harmless to humans. Napoleon was tall for his day, and there are 5 Mercedes between $30,000 and $40,000. Hey, you learn something new every day.
The average car travels 12,000 miles a year. The average tires last 40,000 miles. The conclusion? Sooner or later, you're going to need a new set of wheels. Where do you go? I'm getting to that. A place with thousands of tires and the best brands rolling. People with diplomas in tireology and floors your grandmother could kiss. Oh, yeah, and they serve a great cup of joe. NTV, National Tire and Battery. We're everything you want, nothing like you'd expect.
I've got 13-gauge circular confetti, and your standard circles are square mix. But if you want to make this thing really big, for a couple more cents a pound, you can step up to the Fiesta sprinkles. Now this is exciting.
It's the Isuzu Great Big Really Exciting Sales Event.
Watch this.
Where right now, you can get a rebate of $1,000 or 1.9% APR financing on a 1998 Isuzu Amigo.
If I go lower than 18 cents a pound, I don't eat.
Anytime, any day, anything. The Bell Atlantic Yellow Pages. It's life, listed alphabetically.
Summer means clearance at your Chrysler and Plymouth dealer. Clearance means big factory authorized cash back. Get $1,000 cash back on Chrysler Sebring Coupe and get low lease rates on Sebring Convertible. Clearance means bigger cash back. Get $1,500 cash back on Chrysler Cirrus, ranked best entry midsize car in initial quality by J.D. Power & Associates. Or get $1,500 cash back on Plymouth Neon. Summer means clearance. Clearance means savings at your Chrysler and Plymouth dealer.
Sports Blitz is brought to you by your Washington Metro Chrysler Plymouth dealers.
27.5 minutes after the hour, no big decisions for Norv today. It was cut down day. You could have picked these cuts before camp started. That's what happens when you got a veteran team like Michael Westbrook, healthy for the minute, and Terry Allen, second year of a big 4-year deal for him. He dodged it today. But number 40, Keith Piesick, a rookie, is still in business. He might have been targeted, but not today. The battle for starting tight end is still on. Jamie Asher and rookie Steven Alexander, a little mano-a-mano today. Among the 19 adios, second-year cornerback Keith Thibodeau, 6-year fullback Lachey Maston, and the kicker they brought in when Scott Blanton got hurt, Jeff Sauve. On IR and gone for the season, Bob Dahl, who had knee surgery again last week, and defensive end Rich Owens, who's headed for knee surgery later on this week. And there are another 7 players who got to go by the weekend. Well, he's the king of them.
You know, there's still a long way to go. You know, for me, I'm, like I said, learning every day, trying to pick new things up, you know, as we go. And, you know, hopefully things will work out. And, you know, hopefully Jamie and I can be on the field at the same time.
We'll see if they can. He's the king of the 4-rounders. He's Butterbean in the ring tonight with Tim Pollard. That would be the canvas-sniffing Pollards. Round 1, it's late. Bean hasn't eaten in a couple of hours. He's got dinner reservations. Good night. Thanks for coming. Fight doesn't last 90 seconds. In fact, look at Bean. He doesn't even hit the guy with a fist. He just kind of palms the guy to submission. He goes, yeah. He hit him with he hit him with the back of his head. Butterbean, it's okay. What a disgrace. That's it. We'll be right back.
Rule: to be preeminent in or have control over. Common usage: to be numero uno. Welcome to the 98 Honda Clearance. Don't you just love it when you win?
can you tell what a home is worth? Is it what you could get for it today? Or something more enduring? Is it about a cozy porch? Is it a nice yard? A comfortable living room? Or is it better schools, safer streets, the feeling of security? You see, when you own a home, you're not just building a brighter future for your family. You're building a brighter future for all of us. For a free guide that can help you on the path to home ownership, call the Fannie Mae Foundation.
We can tell you when we're ready. We can tell you when we're not. Even though we might be ready, we don't ever want to stop. We're happy. We're so happy. Ready? We can tell you when we're not.
So, this is it, huh? You're off to college.
Yeah.
Pretty high-tech stuff you got here.
Yeah, but the guy at Staples explained everything when I bought it.
Good. Well, good luck.
Isn't Mom gonna say goodbye?
She's still up in your room getting used to the idea.
Well, I love you, Dad.
He's gone. What do you think?
Only 9.5 feet. We're gonna need 10 for the hot tub.
Well, this wall's gonna have to come down.
Staples has compact computers and 7,000 supplies at a guaranteed low price. Staples, yeah, we've got that.
Hold, please. One moment, please.
Hey, got a minute?
I've got a call.
Have you heard? Toyota's national clearance is here with 500 cash back or down payment credit on Corollas. Lease your Corolla with air, automatic, and more for just $169 a month and save $500 with a coupon from your local paper. Or use the coupon to buy and save more with low APR financing. So hold everything and get to Toyota's national clearance event now at your Toyota dealer.
Right now, the rain from Bonnie is getting close to the Outer Banks. By sunrise, tropical storm force winds will be blowing, and by lunchtime, hurricane force winds over 75 miles per hour. Have more for you in the morning.
First family enjoyed a day of beautiful weather out on Martha's Vineyard. They appeared in public together for the first time since their vacation started. President did some work today, spoke to President Boris Yeltsin of Russia for 30 minutes about problems and pre-summit details. The summit starts a week from today. And after that, the Clintons went sailing with Walter Cronkite, the most trusted man in America still, sailing Edgartown Harbor with the Cronkites, and it was the whole first family was together, and we could fit all three of our houses in the cockpit of Walter's boat.
And that's the way it should be.
Well, Walter was piloting the vessel. That's what he's supposed to do. That's it. Stay with Eyewitness News for team coverage on Hurricane Bonnie tomorrow.
Thank you.
Story idea? Call 202-432-1999.
The following message is brought to you by Cadillac and your local Cadillac dealers.